Hi, I'm so glad that you could all come today to honor two men who have made tremendous contributions to the University of Missouri, and in particular to honors education at the University of Missouri. We have several people who have come to share our event, come to honor Dr. Bill Bondeson and Dr. Stuart Palonsky. And the first introduction I'd like to make is the First Lady of Missouri, Miss Georganne Nixon.
Thank you. It's a delight to be here today to honor the men of honors. And the governor would very much like to be here today with me, but he is on his way to Kansas City, where he's delivering the commencement address at the University Law School there at UMKC. But so I speak for both of us when I say thank you for bringing the world to students at Mizzou. Jay grew up in DeSoto, Missouri, a town at the time he was growing up that was so small it didn't have a stoplight, nor could he take any kind of foreign language at DeSoto High School. So here he came to Mizzou. And I grew up in Jefferson City, which at that time was just a football-crazed town. And if you'll look at your wonderful art on the program, you can see the cartoon there. I ended up here. We both ended at the Honors College, and we were forever changed by the wonders of the four-part humanities series. Because I had the good fortune, and so did Jay, but to have Dr. Bondeson. And this was, I came from Jefferson City and landed here and found a scholar who had read the ancient Western philosophers in the original Greek. And you know, suddenly, everything made a lot more sense to me. I realized that I had grown up in Sparta, and I had landed in Athens. Thank you. It's true. It just came to me one day. So today I join the governor of the great state of Missouri in saying thank you to the two men we honor today who have thrown open the doors of the Palace of Wisdom for countless students who have forever been changed. Thank you.
We also have with us two of our state representatives, Representative Mary Still and Representative Chris Kelly, and they would like to present a resolution.
Thank you so much for this honor. I unfortunately have to also go to give another resolution today to the world's largest hot dog factory, which is also in my district. I'm blessed to have the university and craft food hot dog factory. But when I found out we were also honoring Bill Bondeson, I thought somehow this is fitting. But today, I have the honor of giving a resolution to Professor Stuart Palonsky, if you will join me up here. And we have lots of whereases, and therefore now be resolved, and I'm not going to do that. But I do want to say that, you know, I remember when you arrived on this campus, and I was director of the MU News Bureau, and I wrote the press release announcing your arrival. So it's kind of fitting that we both survived. But Dr. Palonsky came to the university in 1985. He had his PhD from Michigan State University, and he started his career at MU at the College of Education after serving as a public school teacher in New York and New Jersey. So I think he knows what it's like. Obviously, he knows what it's like to be in that classroom every morning, to meet that class on Monday morning, and to be with them on Friday afternoon. So it's nice to have people with that type of experience teaching our teachers how to teach. I know that you have very popular discussion sections in the Honors College with your 4-semester humanities sequence, and that you also lecture on the book of Job. And I want to come join that lecture. I think I could offer a few things, having survived the legislature this year. But Dr. Palonsky has written several books, including the popular 900 Shows a Year, a look at teaching from the teacher's side of the desk, published numerous articles, and I know he is looking forward to spending more time with Nancy and his granddaughter. On campus, he's just known by students and faculty alike, both for his mentoring services to our students, for his dry wit, his wry sense of humor. His colleagues are always jealous because he always seems to have the perfect quip at the right moment without a moment's hesitation. So our faculty members like this are just a part of what we call the Mizzou magic. When these young students come from these small towns all over the state and they meet scholars like this who not only teach them, but they teach them how to live well. And they come and it's like, oh, this is what smart people do. This is how you live well. And it's such a service to our state. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm not going to read any of the whereases and Bondesons. I'm going to talk about, for just a second, a couple of years ago I was unhappily retired. And I was a failure at retirement. And old geezer professor friends of mine came to me and said, we're getting our head kicked in. Will you go back to Jefferson City? And I thought about that, and I thought I can see around this room, salted in the crowd, not just Palonsky and Bondeson, but many of you guys. And what you characterize for me is the reason to go to Jefferson City. And that is that this place matters and is different and is unique in the state of Missouri. Access to this institution is vital, but also is having something that is of real quality when students get here, or else we must ask the question, access to what? And access to Bondeson and Palonsky and to the rest of you is what this institution is really about. They are emblematic of the soul of the academy. And the academy is what Georganne and Mary talked about, sending those seeds back to DeSoto or Chillicothe or wherever. They have sown seeds all over the state of Missouri and taken the soul of the academy all through Missouri where it has flowered. Thank you both very much for what you do.
Both of these men have spent most of their careers utterly dedicated to undergraduate teaching. And so I thought it was fitting today to have some testimonials from their students. We have 3 testimonials for Professor Bondeson and 3 for Professor Palonsky. The first person I would like to introduce is Paige Burnham. Will Paige come up, please?
I first was introduced to Professor Bondeson my first semester of my freshman year. He came into one of my classes to guest lecture on stem cell research. And I'd heard the term stem cells before, but I had no idea what it was about, except for that it was controversial. Professor Bondeson informed our class of the issues, talked maybe for about 20 minutes about both sides of the issues, and then turned the discussion over to us. We were freshmen, we did not know that much, but he listened to our opinions and valued them. And I think that I learned more about it from thinking about it myself than I would have if he had just lectured the entire time. After that experience, I immediately signed up for his sequence in the humanities sequence, in which I spent 3 semesters with Professor Bondeson. Once I had him, I did not want to switch to other teachers, although people suggested that I might get more out of it if I maybe switched on to different teachers and different viewpoints. But I thought that Professor Bondeson did such a great job of showing all of the viewpoints, and if the class was ever heavily decided one way, he likes to play devil's advocate, which would sometimes make people a little angry because he's so good at it. I learned so much in the humanities sequence, and I think that it's a great thing that Mizzou does. And I also really enjoyed Professor Bondeson makes us write journals, and I learned a lot about myself through the journals and thinking it through these issues and old texts and connecting them to the real world and real issues, because there's things that are written in the 1500s that still very much relate to today. And Professor Bondeson does a great job with that class and really showing us those issues. And now I am in his medical ethics class because I cannot get enough of Professor Bondeson. Even though I'm an English major, everyone asks, why are you in medical ethics? So I'm once again learning about stem cell research and cloning and Bondeson's laws of medical ethics, and greatly enjoying it. So Professor Bondeson, you have really been one of my favorite teachers here at Mizzou and greatly shaped my experience here, so thank you.